Surprise, surprise! The Trump DOJ lied to the DC Federal Appeals Court about the trans military ban. Stick around, I'm going to get into it after I read this. This is from The Advocate. It says, we hope the court recognizes that they were hearing a number of misrepresentations and that it will carefully read the record in this case, said attorney Shannon Minter. Are we surprised the orange regime lied again? No. They lie about everything every fucking day. And I just have to say before I get into this, how disgusting that the orange regime would disrespect career military members this way. People that have sacrificed everything to protect us. Fuck that. So lawyers representing trans service members challenging the Trump administration's renewed ban on trans military service accused the government on Wednesday of misleading the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. court about both the factual record and how the policy is being enforced, arguing that Justice Department attorneys made false and improper representations last week. In a post-argument letter to the court in Talbot versus the United States, plaintiff's attorneys said the government incorrectly told judges during oral argument last Thursday that no trans service members had been separated under the ban. The letter states that this claim was contradicted by evidence obtained after the hearing. Following the hearing, plaintiffs were contacted by multiple former service members who were involuntarily separated pursuant to the new policy, said the attorney. Under questioning, however, Abhishek Kambli, the Attorney General, acknowledged that the plaintiffs before the court would not qualify for waivers under the policy's criteria and conceded that once the process began, their discharge would ultimately be unavoidable. So it's a meaningless process, said Judge Judith Ann Wilson Rogers. It's just moving paper around. There's no chance that one of the plaintiffs could continue to serve. Attorney Shannon Minter, legal director of the National Center for LGBTQ Rights, who represents these plaintiffs, said the government's account at argument mischaracterized both the record and the real-world impact of this policy. So let's talk about this. I saw, according to PBS News, in 2025, there were 2.1 million troops serving. And officials have said that as of end of year 2024, so end of December 2024, there were 4,240 troops diagnosed with gender dysphoria in the active duty, National Guard, and the Reserve. But they acknowledged that that real number may be even higher. So when the initial Pentagon directive came out last year, it gave service members 30 days to self-identify as trans. And since then, about 1,000 people have done so. So basically, they could go back in the closet and pretend that they're not trans, or they would be banned. And so these 1,000 trans people that came forward were banned and involuntarily forced out. And not only that, the government illegally withheld their retirement payments as well. Now, we're seeing big lawsuits regarding this, and many of the military members in the lawsuits that I saw served at least 15 years in the military. They had positive performance reviews from their management, and so all of that stuff immediately disproves what Donald Trump stated in the order, which is that trans people are, in quotes, expressing a false gender identity, divergent from an individual's sex, cannot satisfy the rigorous standards necessary for military service. Beyond the hormonal and surgical medical interventions involved, adoption of a gender identity inconsistent with an individual's sex conflicts with a soldier's commitment to an honorable, truthful, and disciplined lifestyle, even in one's personal life. So all of this is bullshit. But basically, they were trying to say in this order that trans people aren't capable of being honest or disciplined. And so all of this evidence in court of these longtime career military members proves that statement wrong right there. But of course, it's bullshit. They made this up. It's just made up nonsense like everything else from Trump and Republicans. Anyone who respects the military and the people who sacrifice themselves should be extremely upset by this. Not only is this immoral, discriminatory, and evil, but they're reducing our military for no reason. Why would you want to get rid of such dedicated employees? And by the way, the military was the #1 employer of transgender Americans. Who knows what those numbers look like now? And then last thing, to Pete Kegsbreath, who recently said, no more pronouns, no more dudes in dresses in the military. I would rather have a dude in a dress with 20 years of experience in good standing and has good performance reviews than the stupid motherfuckers y'all are recruiting for ICE. So thank y'all for listening. Please like this, share this. Let's get this information all over the place. Leave your comments and love, and I will be back very soon.